All right, this is gonna be my first trade recap. This is gonna be my first video actually. So before we get into the trade recap, I just want to go a little bit in about myself and my past, just so you guys can know me and basically tell you what this channel is for and what everything is for. I'm 20 years old, and I had and still have no idea what I wanted to do with my life. Just like a lot of other people. Like you see so many people out there saying, I'm the same as you and that you're so similar to everyone else. And I think that's so true. Although I may be a little bit older than most of you guys that are starting your trading journey, started a bit late. Um, the same as you. Like before I started trading, I played games 24/7. I hated school. I didn't know what I wanted to be. I would literally skip school almost every other day. I didn't even go to school. I barely even passed with no thoughts about what I wanted to do for work in the future and how I wanted to make money. Um, Pretty much this trading stuff started September of last year with me and my friend that also is going to be making a YouTube channel. His name is Liviu. Um, we've started doing this at the same time. And the reason that we started trading was pretty funny, actually. We were playing GTA 5 online, driving these cars, getting rich in the game, and we're like, man, why don't, why, imagine if we could do this in real life. And like, we were like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's find a way. We were eager. And there are some things that we were brainstorming. Like one of his family friends traded meme coins, and we were like, why don't we go ask him figure out how to trade meme coins? But out of all the things that we were looking at, we fell onto trading. The main reason that we looked at it was from my past phases. Um, I remember when I was younger, I was in grade 9, so around like 14. My older brother came into my room. He was like, yo, if you learn this thing called Forex in like a couple years, by the time you're graduated, you're gonna be like loaded. Like I'll let you make an account under my name. You'll do whatever. And looking back at it now, I'm so thankful for him giving me the opportunity of learning at that time because if I did take it, it would have been like life changing. But as someone who's young and the world didn't hit him yet, I didn't take that opportunity. I learned for like 2 weeks, and baby pips is pretty much just candlestick anatomy and shit like that. I was getting pretty bored. Like I learned the history between the pairs and shit like that. It didn't really catch and stay with me. So blew it off, continued playing games and skipping school, not really caring. Then a couple years later, grade 11, I think I was maybe 16, 17. Um, One of my other friends, not Liviu, was like, yo, we should do this trading thing. Like, I'm into options right now, and he was ahead of me. He knew that I was kind of similar to them in the aspect of I wanted to become something, but I just didn't know what yet. Like, I knew I wanted to have things, but just didn't know how to get there. And he was like, yo, let's try this options thing. And he sent me a playlist of TJR's bootcamp. I watched it for like, same thing. Not even like shorter this time, a week at max. And yet again, I let the opportunity go away. And I believe now it was God saying that it wasn't my time, but I also think that I was lazy and I didn't want to put the work in and I wanted to go into my bad habits. But that's just how life is, you know. You never know when it's your time. You never know when you're actually gonna give it your all. Then fast forward to last year, 2025. Um, Me and my family moved. I still live with my parents, and I'm very thankful for um, the house that they put me in and the roof that I'm under. And we moved away from like all my friends everyone were like 2 hours away. And I was pretty upset. I got a couple of jobs, and that's when I kind of figured out like, okay, I gotta start getting on my grind. And there was a lot of plans of what I wanted to do with money and all this shit. Like I wanted to go into real estate, stuff like that. But I wanted to save a bunch of money. And I wanted to get a real job as well. And for most people who are similar to me, where they hate school, they don't know what they want to do academically, they don't know if they want to go to college. For me, I for sure didn't want to go to college or university. I probably couldn't if I wanted to. The first option is trades. I wanted to be an electrician, and after putting like a decent amount of effort in, cold calling all these companies around me, even wanting to move away from my family and go with my cousin or my uncle, live with them, just to get a work opportunity, I did. And none of it worked out until middle of 2025 when I found an electrician job by just cold calling and they got back to me. I ended up working for like a month, and what really hit me was when I was in my boss's backyard with a um I forgot the name, but I think it's called a jackhammer, where I'm literally just chiseling concrete because he had a spot of his grass that was dead, and I was the only one that was there that had to dig up the grass and then dig up concrete that's like 8 inches thick and then put it into a truck just for him to expand the driveway. I'm like, I'm supposed to be doing electrician work. Like, what am I doing this for? And it wasn't that first day, actually, it was the second day. It was rainy, and the hole that I already started digging was muddy. And he never helped me with anything. And it was about like 6 o'clock in the morning. And I was doing this windy, rainy, the hole was muddy. I was getting everything was wet. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I texted him. I say, listen, this isn't for me. I quit right there on the spot, drove home, and I was lost at that point. Like, I thought that this was supposed to be the end goal. I was going to get into this job, work up the career ladder, bank some money, and then when I'm like older, like with the investments I've had, I'll be a little bit better. But it didn't work out. And that's when it clicked for me. And I think it's going to be similar to a lot of younger people out there. It's like, if not now, it will click to you. It will come to you. And I think that's God's way of telling you. And that, I think that was God's way of telling me that's like, listen, you gotta find your thing. And he just put me down this path. And I'm so thankful for all the people that he's put around me, like Liviu and my other friend who got me into this. So back onto September. We did TJR's bootcamp, me and Livy. We bought a bunch of journals, notebooks. Like I have a bunch of shit here, like two, three journals of just like trading shit, and I was deep in the books for a while, just learning. And I remember um I was tape reading all of September, all of October, and then November I was also tape reading, but then December I started paper trading and I was getting pretty confident. I was saying, okay, new year, that's when I think I'm ready to get my first funded. I was definitely patient with my journey, and I think you need to be in order to be profitable and save your money. And someone like me who doesn't have a job, I gotta save as much money as I can. January hits, I get my first prop firm account, first funded. It was with Apex, and I was so confident. I think the first trade I took was a good trade, but then the next day I didn't end up taking a good trade, and then I blew up. I spiraled, which never really happened to me on paper. I don't know what happened, but spiraled out of control. Um, and I was just buying when it went up, selling when it went down. Like nothing was like a good setup. So I blew that account second day after getting it, and I'm like, wow, this is just an insane thing. Then the rest of January, I got another account, but I'm being really slow with it. But ever since that first time, early January, I learned so much, and I believe that that is another thing that God put in my life really early on, and I'm so thankful for him putting that in early of just me blowing up so I can learn myself. And yeah, so I am not successful yet at all, at all. I have not even broken a barrier. I haven't even passed a funded account, and I think I will soon. I know that it's coming to me, and January has been a big, big learning experience. Although the numbers haven't been big, although I haven't passed a funded, I believe that all of these lessons that are being taught to me in January is so huge, and that's what this channel is for pretty much. It's for Liv, and I, for all of you, and this is just going to be my journal. All of the things I'm going to talk you guys through all my thought process. I'm going to show you guys the wins, the losses every single day, even on days where I don't take a trade like today. I didn't take a trade today. I'm going to talk you through my thought process, my bias, why things happened, why I think things happened, and all that. It's basically just for everyone that is going to watch this. So now that I've told you a little bit about myself, we can get into the trade recap. All right, boom. Getting into the day. Very easy day to read, honestly. Um, you might say hindsight, but I think it's a very easy day to read. We have all of this LRLR above where market is right now. We also have these relative equal highs from Friday, and the final draw, which I don't think ended up being hit, was these Thursday highs. So, seeing that, I was right away bullish. Then we have from midnight, we started trading up, and London had a huge leg up. I'm pretty sure this was like a 300 point leg. So I was thinking, okay, this is the easiest continuation day ever. If the last line of defense, this 15-minute gap, gets disrespected. Everything since then has been getting disrespected. All of bearish disrespected, and all of bullish being respected. So I'm going into the day bullish. That doesn't mean I marry my bias. We could easily tap this gap and take out these lows, but highly, highly unlikely. So I was just waiting to see how we respect this gap at market open. I'm looking at all this LRLR, and I was just waiting. So right when market open, I'll go to a 5-minute chart. And we have a big leg up that closes the gap on both NQ and ES. Let's check ES. I have all these drawings here. But yeah, 15-minute gap closed on ES above these Asia highs, okay? And it's just continuation from there. What I would have looked for is, oh, this happened. We have this gap being made. The only thing that I would have looked for would be a retracement into this 5-minute gap, inversion out, and we target all the rest of the LRLR and all and this Friday high as well. I think this would have been my final draw. I didn't really like the Thursday draw that much. You could have held a runner to that, and I think it might have got hit, but that would have been my main draw. After that, I would be done. So if we keep going on the 5-minute time frame, we just keep running. We keep running, keep running, keep running, and there's literally nothing. On the 15-minute chart, I'm pretty sure this is the gap that we had. So before we printed that candle, if we go back, how do we do that? Let's go back. So right here, this was the A plus trade that I was anticipating and that I was looking for. Normally, a lot of people say react to the market, and that's pretty valid. I like to think of, okay, where would I be comfortable getting in? What would I be looking for? The one thing that I would be looking for would be a retracement into this gap and hit OTE of the range. It doesn't have to. I would be okay with 50%. I would be okay with a tap to this gap. As long as we make a bearish gap going down into this bullish gap and respecting 50 or CE and then having an inversion back up, I would have easily taken that trade 10 times out of 10. That would have been an A plus trade continuation. Also, we had news at 10 o'clock. So let's check what news did. We had this big data wick here. And data wicks are such a huge draw. I've learned that from Dodgy. He's a great trader, ICT trader as well. Um, what I would have liked still, it would have been A plus, is leaving that data high, retrace, retrace into the 15-minute gap here, and then that would have been the A plus trade. Super A plus. Would have been happy with having the inversion back up, taking out, this would be my draw. That would have been probably the best trade of all of February if it did happen. But it ran off without me, and I'm okay with that. I'm content. I'm not gonna go there force a trade. Like, I know some people took there was a 5 minute gap. Oops. 5 minute gap here, small gap, tap with data wicks, and then there was this like small little uh here, volume imbalance, small little inversion. Like, I guess it worked out. Some people, that may be a good trade. For me, I'm not that confident with that type of trade, so I'm not going to take it. And I will watch price run away from me if it doesn't give me what it wants. And I just have to be content with that. And I think that's one of the things that I struggled with before. Seeing this big move, I'd have like crazy FOMO. Like, I'd be like, how didn't I catch anything? How didn't I see this type of move? Like on the 1 minute chart, I'm gonna go on to a 2 minute because it's a little bit more clean. Like, I would see, why didn't I catch this move? Some people might have taken this tap into the gap. For me, it would have been too early, and it's not my model. And I just have to be content with that. I gotta let price run without me, or else I'm just gonna get fucked. Like, there's no other word to explain it. Like, if you chase price all the time, today, if you bought, you might have won. But on other days where it doesn't go to your model, most likely would have lost. So I'm just gonna document this. I'm happy that my bias was correct. Um, and I'm happy that I stayed patient most of all. I stayed patient, not chasing price. I'm gonna be okay with not chasing price 10 out of 10 times if it doesn't give me what I want, right? If it doesn't give me what I want, I'm okay with not taking it. I'm normally off the chart after either my major liquidity point gets taken or I don't stay on until after 11 because then it's kind of slow. So after this move up here, I got off. I accepted that I wasn't gonna get in today. You have to be okay with that. One of the most major things that I'm gonna tell you guys is journaling is the biggest factor in trading. If you keep a journal of your wins, your losses, and all of the lessons that you've learned, it will impact you in such a positive way. Such a positive way. I remember the beginning of January, it was so hard conditions. Like, if we look at our daily chart, we are in a major range, major range. tjtrades, one of the biggest ICT traders, he has a great style of trading as well. He said that January was a huge like month that was hard. And I think for me, I'm so blessed that at the beginning of my trading career, I've gotten shown what last month was. It was a hard month. It taught me so many things. I remember, and everyone, Liviu would say, or I would say to Liviu, that I hate continuation days because I would just be looking for reversals when I wouldn't understand that we can just continue. I would hate continuation models. Be like, how do people take continuation trades? Because I wouldn't trust it. I'd always want to see a reversal. And January taught me that continuation is so good. Like continuation is one of the best models that you can get. It's so nice to just be able to come into the market. Okay, London continuation after inversion, after having an 15-minute inversion. So clean. Today we didn't have a retracement to the 15-minute bullish. That's fine. I'm happy that I read price action correctly. Anyway, I don't want to yap on for too much. Monday session, great price action. Just kind of left with a lot of people. Very easy bias. And yeah, I'm content with not getting anything today because I learned I'm going to be journaling. I'm going to be journaling down what happened in London. And yeah, I'm content. I'm happy with what I did today, and that was sit on my hands. I'm not going to chase price. I'm going to let price come to me. And that's the biggest thing that I've learned in January. Anyway, lads, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.